Hello and welcome, this is I Seen You Before, hosting The Collector for the Good Old Game Spring Sale, and this will be our last episode covering the sale. By the way, this episode contains quite a lot of city building games, so be warned. Without further ado, let us head straight onto the list. As a friendly reminder, prices are in Canadian dollars, and also at the time of this video, which is now March 11th, you have until tomorrow, as the sale will end on March 12th at 3 PM Pacific Central Time. At number 1, we have the Impression City Builder games, all discounted at 60% of their original price. Caesar 3 was one of the first city builders that I've ever had the chance to play, and I have to say that it's damn good. This is the game that gave me the first taste into city building. Needless to say that Pharaoh and Cleopatra followed suit, as well as Zeus and Poseidon for their Greek-themed games. The Impression City Builders have aged really well with time, and there are actually a few HD patches lying around the internet for you to enjoy these awesome games in widescreen resolution. I would definitely grab all of those at the time of this sale. Too bad that Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom is not on sale, as it would have completed the collection of the best city building games around by Impression, who now actually make real-life military simulations. Coming up at number 2, we have Syberia 1 and 2, both currently discounted at 79% of their tag price. As recommended by Unreal Quakey on the GoG forums, Siberia is quite renowned amongst adventure point-and-click games, with a great storyline, great graphics, and for this sale price, they are well worth grabbing if you are a fan of the genre. Do note, however, that Siberia 1 has a few difficulties running on modern machines, so you would have to go through a lot of compatibility issues and to get the game running. But eventually, the second one has no issues running on modern machines, so be warned before you actually buy the game. For number 3, we have The Settlers 2, the 10th Anniversary HD Edition, currently at $4.39 from $13.09. The HD remake of the second Settlers is well worth the price, as this game has stood the tests of time. You will find everything that you would want for a remake of an old management and city building game, such as better graphics, and the same great gameplay and compatibility on modern machines. The graphical remake is a fresh refresher over the old sprite graphics, and the gameplay remains intact and is as complex as the original games. As an added bonus, you should know that this game also runs at full HD resolution, so you get to play this game in widescreen resolution without a hitch. Next up, we have a new adventure point-and-click game called Shardlight, currently being discounted at 70% of its original price. It's been 20 years since the world has died and remaining humans are struggling for survival. In Shotlight, you follow the quest of a young heroine trying to find the remedy for green lungs, a deadly disease that has been infecting the remaining human population. Shotlight is a new addition to the adventure point-and-click genre by Wadjet Eye Games that holds the same great recipe for great point-and-click games. So if you're a fan of a genre, it is definitely worth grabbing. Moreover, the narrations in this game are particularly very well made. And for number 5, we have The Witcher Enhanced Edition, currently at 85% of its original price. Back in the 2000s, I had recently switched from a box monitor to a widescreen LCD monitor. The Witcher was the first game which I got to witness in its HD goodness, and my lord, it was magnificent. Even though The Witcher is out there and taking names, it's still a great role-playing game with the different battle system and all the graphics. So if you're a fan of Geralt the Witcher, it is definitely worth a grab at 85% off. One day, I shall finish every of the Witcher games in order to finally catch up to the third one. One day. Coming right up is a bundle, Populous, all currently at $1.99. from 789. Populous is a legendary game from a legendary studio in management/simulation games, Bullfrog Productions. Famous for games such as Dungeon Keeper and Theme Hospital, Populous is the ancestor of god simulation games. You incarnate a spiritual deity and affect humans with your divine might, and your shaman is the guide of your tribe of believers. Populous is a game that has stood the test of time and is well worth it at the discounted price of $1.99 for each of them. However, if you cannot stand sprite style graphics, I would highly recommend you to just grab Populous the beginning and find an HD patch for it on Google and enjoy one of the best god games in the genre. For number 7, we have yet another bundle, the Anno bundle, all currently discounted at 66% of their original prices. Even though Anno 1404 was in the previous episode, I just could not avoid talking about them once again, for the awesome discounted prices of $269, $439, and $569 for Anno 1503, 1602, and 1701 respectively. It's too much of a bargain to ignore. Every single one of them covers a specific timeline and style. You can clearly see the progression of the game's concepts and graphics as time went by, and every one of them is completely worth it. I would definitely recommend the whole bundle as they're a great predecessor to the modern iterations, if not better. And yet another bundle entry, for number 8 on this list, is all about XCom, all currently being slashed down for 75% off. As a recommendation from Amrit9037 from the GoG forums, the whole old school XCom series is on sale. While XCom and XCom 2 The Long War are currently out and causing ravages, veterans have been complaining that they're a bit simplified compared to the older games. So it may well be worth your time to try grabbing them off GOG for $1.99 each to check out the ancestor of this epic turn-based squad combat. Be warned, however, that these games are not easy to pick up and play. They are in fact quite complex, so you'd be better off reading the manual before you actually try playing the game. And for the last bundle entry in this episode, we have the SimCity bundle, currently being discounted at 75% off their original prices. A blast from the past, from a time where Maxis Studios was still alive. We have SimCity 2000, 3000, and 4. Deemed as one of the best simulation city building management games in the genre, these guys hold their titles very well. You can do anything you'd ever want, build the greatest city ever from the ground and then burn it down, and with aliens, and earthquakes, and fire, and inundations, and floods. The SimCities have well stood the tests of time. All that's needed for these older versions is an HD patch, which is just a simple Google search away. And finally, for our last entry in this episode, we have Robin Hood, The Legend of Sherwood. For those that were always a fan of strategy, stealth genres such as the Commander series and the more recent Shadow Tactics, Blades of a Shogun, or was it Shadow Tactics? Well, yeah, it was Shadow Tactics. I just don't remember the mini title. Anyways, Robin Hood, The Legend of Sherwood might be a game that you would consider grabbing off the sale. Play as the legendary thief and his band of merry men and defeat the Sheriff of Nottingham. This real-time strategy game has stealth elements, which you could actually use, or simply do like what I did in the Commander series and fail hard, and just barge your way inside there with a lot of weapons and just make a lot of noise and probably end up dying and getting a really crappy rating. Anyways, coming back to the fact was, this game has stealth elements, as you could either sneak your whole way through the story or just barge in there armed with your sword. Robin Hood, The Legend of Sherwood is well worth grabbing at $3.29 to experience a stealth game set in the medieval times. And for one more honorable mention, is actually from Max Wordstad from the GOG forums as a recommendation. Civilization 4 the complete bundle is available right now from the GOG sales. While I could not grab this game, I believe it is well worth your time and interest if you're a fan of the series. Often deemed as the best in the series, the sale currently has the whole game and all its expansions for the simple price of $16.59.
Civilization 4.
And that should be it for our list of recommendations covering the GOG Spring Sale 2017. Please give us a like if you enjoyed this video and leave us a comment below. It really helps out the channel. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this last episode of The Collector for the GOG sales, and see you soon.